personnel following them around. It is the people. It is the people that will suffer most. So that is why it is important for the well-wishers of Osun State to take it upon themselves. Governor Adeleke has done his part as the chief security officer of the state to be proactive. He has done that already. So if the opposition party is calling for the president to declare a state of emergency, let us see the opportunity they want to use to institutionalize that illegality that they did in Rivers State, again in Osun State. And I can assure you that the people of Osun are smarter. They will resist that illegality by all means.
Okay, now I'm coming to Abimboye, Michael. Mr. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
They say when two elephants fight, the grass suffer. And that's talking about the people. Yes. The people are the ones who are the receiving hand in this crisis. How are the people right now in Osun State? I mean, you reside in the States. You've been to the States. You have many, affairs to do politically, as a journalist. You've lived in the States. Probably you grew up in the state and all. I mean, how are the people right now, even during the crisis, how are the people receiving or reacting to this incident? And also, are there any mercenaries who are carrying out this maim? Do you think that they are mercenaries? Because if you say the youth of the community, I don't know if some people like their lives. Gone are the days where they say, well, some people are looking for money and all of that. They are wanting power. Some youth are wanting, this local power. That's talking about cultism and all of this. But now it seems to be like, well, everyone are more concerned about just looking for money, finding a better life for themselves. So, is it like there are mercenaries who are carrying out this maim, or is just like you said, a clash of the titans? Let me call it like that. Those who are wanting power locally, or those who are wanting to grab some particular lands and all. Just give us an insight of how the people feeling, the mercenaries involved, or what entails in all of these clashes.
Okay. First, I would like to point out that first, there is no case of mercenaries involved in this communal clash. It's basically between the indigenous of the three towns. No mercenary involved. I can tell you that for free. Then two, well, the people in the community, the coffee will elapse, I think, by today. So people will go back to their businesses and farms as well. So people will start producing. People will eat. It will take time. For those whose properties have been destroyed, we pray to God that they will be able to rebuild and have, like we say in Yoruba, that means the king's palace that got burnt, a beautiful one. They're about to build a beautiful one. So we hope that they will recover from the losses.
That's if the government are interested in building a beautiful one.
Well, these are private houses, so I don't know if the government is interested in giving them money to rebuild their house. If the government is willing to do that, that's fine. That will also help with the governor's leadership and show that his people oriented, he really cares about the people. So, but then it's just three towns. I'm not saying so. If it happens in every other town in the states, the government will keep rebuilding everybody's houses. But of course, I'm sure a little palliative will be done. People will be helped. Cash donations will be given to people. NEMA will step in. These are the necessary things that will happen. Also, I heard you previously talking about the call for state of emergency. I mean, it's a satanic call, like I put it. It's a satanic call. You cannot compare what's happening in Osun to what happened in Rivers. I mean, it's a communal clash. So if you are going to say there's a communal clash in just two local governments, what about that has been happening in Zamfara, Kaduna, Niger State itself, where some sections, some areas of the state is under the control of Boko Haram. So why are people not calling for? Why are people not calling for the emergency in those areas? I mean, so Osun is an extremely peaceful state. I mean, you can drive at night anytime you want. So there's no reason or whatsoever why there should be a state of emergency in the state.
You had the cleric. You had the cleric there. I mean, issuing that form of a threat saying in Yoruba that any bad don't. Anyone who try to, infuse a state of emergency, well, he didn't end the threats. He just said any bad don't. I mean, so
So,
where is that coming from, or where could that be coming from?
no, the idea started from what is called Bashiru, Ajibala Bashiru. That's National Secretary of the APC. He's an indigenous of Oshobo. So he was the one who made that statement in an interview with the Sun shortly after the president declared state of emergency in Rivers State. So I think, and of course, he has seen that people have resisted it, have resisted such a devilish agenda, and it does not sit well with us in Osun as a normal law that we are. It's a mark of someone that is desperate, who cannot win his election by himself without the help of government or military or what's it called, federal might. So if he's sure of himself of winning his governorship ambition, trying to get ticket of his party, then he should go to the field. He should not look for military men to come and help him. Go to the field, get a party ticket, contest. If the people they are in love with your policies and programs, they'll vote for you. But for what we've seen on ground, the governor is doing well. He's poised to be re-elected when the election takes place. So there's no reason for us to be scared of a state of emergency in Osun. It's an overboard. Even thinking about it is an overboard. So I mean.
All right, Lagos, you had that coming from the senior editor, communications and senior editor and communications and political expert Abimboye Michael. You also had the voice of a former senior special assistant to national chairman PDP in 2021, Olamigoke Ogayemi. Now let's hear from you, Lagos. What do you think? If you're from Osun State, like I said, if you're an Omoluabi, let's hear from you. What do you think about the clash in Osun State? The Omoluabis, let's hear from you. Call us on 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711 or 0802 978 8003. 0802 978 8003 or 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. You can also call us on the other lines on the 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711. Don't forget, you can send us a message on WhatsApp. You can send us a message on WhatsApp on the 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Yes, we're talking about the clash in Osun State, where many residents have been displaced and houses have been burnt following the renewed communal crisis between global communities in Osun State. Still talking about Osun State, do you know that there are local government crisis right there in the state? The local government crisis right there in the state. And a lot of people have been shouting where 8 has been killed. 8 people has been killed. And also the NULGE as sometime orders that workers should go back to work. And it seems to be like the governor is giving an order, and also some of the opposition is also given an order. Let's come on, Abimboye Mans. The governor is giving order, and the opposition party are also giving order, even after or because of the court judgment. What's your take on this?
Quick one. Before I move to the local government issue, let me just wrap up on the Ifon Osun matter. I think one of the best solutions that can be done to this over this disputed land is to establish a public institute on that land, maybe a university, a research. So to the
but you know that something like this happened, I think in Ife or somewhere where it seems to be like your state were claiming to be part of, stakeholders in the institutions. I don't know if it's I can't remember the school, the institution right now. I don't know if it's Ife or one of the institutions there, where it seems to be like, they are claiming to have a stake in the institution. Osun State is claiming to have a stake, or your state is claiming to have a stake. So is it not going to end up like that?
Well, I can barely hear you because the network seems bad. But
I was saying, I don't know if you can hear me now. I was saying that isn't it going to end up being a case of what happened in Ife, or I can't remember the name of the institution, where there's a clash between Oyo State government and the Osun State government. You said what?
Are you talking about Lautech?
Yes, yeah, thank you very much. Lautech, they've been kind of a stakeholder clash where Oyo State claims to have a stake in there. Osun State is also claiming to have a stake in it. So is it not going to end up, what you are saying now, is it not going to end up like that?
No, because this is not owned by the community, but it's a state-owned institution that will be established on the land. And of course, practically, we know that the government owns the land in any case. So the government can say, okay, we want to take over this land and gazette it and establish the university there. So it can be done if the government is interested, or if there is a need to have another university in the state. Because already we already have two. We have one in the University of Osun and University of Ilesha. So I don't think the state might be interested in building another university. But I'm saying if it could be done,
okay,
it's one of the lasting, one of the ways that can provide lasting solution to this communal clash over this land.
Has it been proposed by the State of Assembly?
No, not yet. No, this is just my thinking. This is just my thoughts. It's not that hasn't been proposed yet.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. You are trying to also wade into the local government crisis.
The LG crisis. I mean, the courts have been giving conflicting judgments. So it's a judicial matter, which I think is going to go to the Supreme Court eventually for final solution, final interpretation, and judicial pronouncement. But whatever case, whatever it goes, even if the Supreme Court states the APC, the yes or no APC chairman should resume, their tenure will elapse by October this year. So at worst, they will leave office, but they will spend maybe 4 or 5 months in office and leave by that. But already we had a peaceful and and properly conducted local government election in February, where proper ballot paper were printed, unlike what the APC did, where their ballot paper was just yes or no. So I don't know which party you will thumbprint yes and you thumbprint no for. But whereas in PDP's case, the ballot papers were for all parties were listed. So if you are voting, you are voting for party A, party B, party C. So if it's left for the Supreme Court to decide which process is more credible. So I think and of course in recent time the Supreme Court has been receiving a lot of backlash. So this is also another opportunity for them to redeem their image. Like, oh, we are for the truth and we are for the people. So we are hoping that when the matter goes to the Supreme Court, justice will be delivered in PDP's favor.
But the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, I mean the NULGE, the NULGE, in the states, are already complaining that they're tired. They've stayed home for too long, and it seems to be like from one problem to another, from fry pan to fire. Just when they're trying to wrap up the local government issues, just when the government. Can you hear me?
I've not seen a statement where the local government officials say they are tired from sitting at home. I mean,
they've called on the NULGE employees. That's the body for the local government employees.
The APC party in the state has tried to factionalize that union, and of course they failed because there's already a proper, well-recognized local government union in the state. So you cannot come and factionalize it and start sponsoring those ones against the state. It's clear and obvious. So we do, and even moreover, it's not even safer for this local government staff to be at home and be safe rather than go to the local government offices or local government headquarters and be attacked by thugs. I mean, we saw it when the APC thugs party members and thugs came to invade the local government, how they destroyed some offices. So it's your safety first, then you can start saying you want to work, you want to do this, you want to become in life. So for me, I think I urge them to let the court decide whichever party is rightful, should be the rightful. How will I put it? Should hold some affairs in local government, whether it's APC or PDP. Then they can resume and activity can go on, and they will deliver the dividends of democracy to the people of Osun State in general.
Okay, let me come to the former senior special assistant Olamigoke Ogayemi. Are you there, Mr. Ogayemi?
I'm here.
The Osun State government, as a matter of fact, faulting self-styled group. Some will say the monarchs. I mean, they are being biased, trying to, lean on the APC, also trying to lean on the PDP in the states. These people, don't forget also that the governor had actually warned the monarchs to either, maintain peace and order in their communities. That's because of the communal clashes. All of this. What is the responsibility of all of these monarchs in the state? Are they yes, you're also a politician, but then are they supposed to be jumping from one bands to another, or probably respect the rule of law?
The system that was operated back in those days, where the traditional rulers are directly involved in governance, should be restored. It is for a fact that the traditional rulers are the closest to the people, and it is unfortunate that when crisis like this happens, the state government find it reasonable to summon monarchs and get their inputs, and even sometimes come hard on them. I mean, enforcing them to restore peace and order. But in governance itself, are they also directly involving the traditional rulers? So I feel, in as much as the traditional rulers should try as much as possible to perform their duties in also ensuring that there is peace and order in their immediate communities, in places where they serve as monarchs, where they are traditional rulers, in as much as they should ensure peace and order, the state government should also begin, and should not only be particular to the state of Osun. It is something that the government of the day, or any government, should try as much as possible to institutionalize. I believe strongly that it would help in monitoring the level of irresponsibility in the society, and also help in maintaining peace and order, and in also communicating the needs of the people to the government itself. We've seen it a lot of times. Okay, take for instance what happened during the protests that occurred sometime mid last year.
The handband governance protest.
The federal government had to call the traditional council. They had to summon the traditional council and appealed to them to talk to their various communities in ensuring that they avert that protest. Now, if you ask me, over the years, have you traditional rulers? No. All you do is you call for traditional council meetings just because it is mandatory for you to call for traditional council meetings. You are not giving them roles in governance. You are not directly involving them in governance, in operations of how you are carrying out projects, the delivery of those projects, and the monitoring of those projects. But when it's time to maintain peace and order, when crisis happens, when you feel that there is need to bring these traditional rulers together, you bring them together for your own interests of monarchs. to try as much as possible, irrespective of the role or how the government of the day has segregated them in governance, they should also take it upon themselves, because it is their sole responsibility to make sure that their communities are at peace. So that would be my
PDP chairmen.
The matter is before the court. When
these people were on board during the Oyetola's regime.
But okay, yes, but the election that brought them on board was a fraudulent one. One was nullified. Two, and a new one was conducted.
That brought the governor or the local government chairmen.
The local government chairman. That's what I'm saying. The election that brought them in was flawed. Was a yes or no ballot paper type of election.
Were you? I mean, I'll show you. You're a journalist. I'll show you about these allegations.
It's everywhere. Of course, you can just Google it, check for the ballot paper. It's called, even in Osun, they are referred to as yes or no chairman. So, no credible, no sane person will see such an election and say it's credible. And then there's a judgment to that.
Yeah.
Is it PDM or PPM?
A court in Akure also passed a judgment to this too.
Yeah, exactly. So even the court in the state as well did the same. So, but of course, these log jams will be resolved at the Supreme Court, which is the apex court in the land. They would, of course, by postulating and the rest, they would find a solution to it. But either way, there's either you go back to a political solution, or there's a total judgment by the Supreme Court, which will be the final base to settle the whole issue.
Talking about political solution, I'll come to Mr. Ogayemi, but then let's still talk further. What will happen between now and October, when there'll be a new election?
Well, I think between now and October,
governance in the local government level, the people.
Governance, for now, so that we peace. We have some mobile police officers already have taken over the various secretariats in the state for the state against any attack by touts. So and then I think between now and the next month, the Supreme Court might give a judgment on it. So we would have proper solution and clear road of where we are going to, whether the APC guys are retaining or the PDP, the newly elected PDP chairman will resume fully. So it's just a matter of time. Between a month and between I'm sure everything should be resolved in April, May, March, and governance will resume.
Yeah, amen. We pray that governance will definitely resume back to Osun State. I was trying to refer to Mr. Ogayemi, political solutions in Osun State. What political solutions do you prefer, or do you prefer to the governor in the state?
Well, I mean, would you rather choose a political solution that would create anarchy and chaos in the states, or you rather maintain peace and order? I feel that is the dilemma where Governor Adeleke has found himself, and he has chosen to just maintain peace and order. Because let me tell you for a fact,
this is the same peace and order that the governor of Rivers State was trying to maintain, where we got an announcement from the president that the state of emergency has been declared in the state. I mean, everybody wants peace, definitely. But then it seems to be like if there is no political solutions, if there are no political results, there won't be this peace and order that the people tend to want.
Okay, so now it's different. Just like my brother also mentioned earlier in this section, it's different. What happened in the rivers is different from what is happening in Osun State. In Osun State, you are seeing a situation whereby the opposition party is trying to force illegality. They're trying to force illegality without substantial facts or substantial claims to what they don't have. I mean, if two courts have said, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, or they've gotten a judgment, I mean, they bought judgment and they are coming around to come and tell us that they now owe the local government, they now do this and do that. I mean, they are coming on board to do that. And the governor has said, okay, rather than causing chaos, let's invite the commissioner of police come on board, security agents come on board. He has shown proactiveness. They've mounted a mobile police at each of the local government secretariats. So he has shown proactiveness, and I feel that was that was a major mistake Governor Fubara failed to do in Rivers State. And again, it has shown that this so-called APC, they are violent prone. And you can see in every of their acts that they are violent. How would you get a court judgment that is not from the apex court in the country, and you are mobilizing people, you are mobilizing thugs to go and invade local government secretariats? I mean, if the ruling party have also gone to court and said, okay, let's maintain status quo till the Supreme Court judgment is out, and you are taking it upon yourself, you are using talk to destabilize the peace of the state. What else do you want the governor to do? You want the governor to also use force and become irresponsible? The best solution he could have provided is, okay, let's maintain status quo. Let's try and make sure there is peace and order in the state. Let the CP order his men to mount this local government secretariat. And he has done that, and he should be commended for that. But on the other hand, the APC, they are looking for all means by crook, by violence, by anything that is illegal, to make sure they get power back in Osun State. And it is not going to be possible, because Governor Adeleke has demonstrated his determination in taking Osun State to the next level. So for me, a political solution, it would have been easier if it was an intra-party crisis. But since it's inter-party now, and you are dealing with criminals in opposition party in Osun State, you cannot find a political solution that would create crisis in Osun State in such situations. So the best act that the governor has done is for him to position mobile men in collaboration with security agencies in those local governments. And just like my brother mentioned earlier, that as the chief security officer of that state, his priority is to maintain peace and order and protect lives and properties of the people of Osun State. And that is what Governor Adeleke has done, and he should and must be commended for that. Right. While we await the final verdict of the Supreme Court, which will come in probably a month, and which will give us a lasting solution to all of this crisis. We just hope that that will definitely bring a lasting solution to this crisis. Let me come to in the matter of what the APC local government chairman in the state has said. The Osun APC local government chairman has returned, and they are issuing 72 hours resumption date. And they're saying that workers should come back to work. How? Let me come to Michael. How are the reactions of, as a journalist also, what are the reactions of the local government workers in the state? Are they willing to return to get back to work? What's their reactions like? Their lives and properties. How are they reacting to the security measures, the threats?
Of course, they are willing to come back to work, but they would want to come back to work in a stable and peaceful, and work in a stable and peaceful condition, not a place where they'll be working and they'll be hearing gunshot or they'll be hearing bang everywhere. So for them too, their safety is number one for them. But of course, you also know they are civil servants, so they might not be able to hear their views in public, but maybe in groups.
How about their payment, their allowances, their salaries? Would still be met?
You know, of course, there's a local government commission, there's a service commission, there's a Ministry of Local Government Affairs, so the salaries are being paid. So I'm not sure it's affecting their salaries at all. Of course, government workers, if salaries are not being paid, they'll be the first to speak out. So
yes,
and without you hearing from them, it means salaries are being paid as and when due.
Okay, thank you very much for all of this information coming out of Osun State. But before let me quickly come to Mr. Ogayemi before I let you go. As a politician, sometimes we ask, there should be a space, there should be a time for healthy competition. Talking about the parties in power and also the opposition party. But why does it seem to be like Nigeria in general? There are no space, no place for healthy competition within political parties.
I mean, you find ourselves in this kind of situation because you have a certain set of people that have come together just to grab power. People that have come together with no defined route of making sure that there is proper governance. There are people, that the citizens enjoy the dividends of democracy. That intra-party relationship is strengthened and to promote democracy. That's the situation we have found ourselves. The APC for instance, when the PDP was in power, you don't see instances like this. You don't see such crises happening. The PDP, for a fact, has been the longest existing party.
There were Boko Haram crises, There were Boko Haram crises,
Yes, Boko Haram.
Where PDP was, there were communal clashes,
We saw the reports recently. Stating people that were directly involved, in ensuring that Boko Haram did not come to an end during the tenure of Jonathan. And to what end? To their political interests, for them to grab power. We've seen that. We've seen collaboration within political parties when the PDP was in power. But what are you finding out now? You are seeing a government, an APC-led government that is determined to destroy other political parties. And it is not new. It is not new. You find out, okay, look at the instance for Lagos. For over 20-something years, how the ruling party has dominated, has suppressed, has crushed the opposition party in their state. And that is the replica of what they want to do at this level, that their leader is in power. They are determined to crush other political parties. They want to turn Nigeria into a one-party system. And for us as opposition, it is our duty to continue to speak up. It is our duty for us to continue to look for platforms like this, to continue to speak against the illegality and the improper routes which this government is trying to use in destroying opposition parties. And they must not forget that this is democracy. This is democracy, and the opposition is very, very vital and important in any democratic institute and country at large. And they must ensure that they continue to give rooms and that opportunity to opposition to strengthen democracy and also to strengthen governance at large. And that is what they are failing to do. That is what they are failing to admit because of the selfish interests, because of the autocracy that they have built over the years, and because of an undefined plan that they had when they were coming to power. How do you imagine that during the Buhari era?
We have to go now because of our time. Mr. Olamigoke Ogayemi, former senior special assistant to the national chairman, PDP 2021, Olamigoke Ogayemi. Thank you very much for your time on the show this morning. And also, Abimboye Michael, senior editor, communication and political expert. Thank you very much for being part of the show this morning on Spotlight.
Thank you.
All right, Lagos, we'll take a break, and this is where we also call it a wrap.